Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. Swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. OnChain revolution, Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, trend. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy on the channel. We cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We got an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for the OnChain Hour, and today's show is going to be absolutely amazing, guys, because we have news that the U.S. government will start putting economic data on the blockchain. Yes, we're talking CPI, PPI, PCE, all of them. GDP is all going on the blockchain today, and I think a lot of people aren't talking about this. We're going to cover that. Google Cloud actually coming on the blockchain as well. Actually created their own L1, not using EVM, not using Solana Tech. They've actually built their own. We're going to get into that. Some Hyperliquid manipulation going on today as well. We've seen a couple coins kind of get short squeezed up and then sold back down. We're going to talk about that. Hyperliquid at a all-time high as well. So we got a lot of really cool stuff to talk about today. NVIDIA is reporting at 420. Well, as a crypto person, why do you care? Well, NVIDIA is the Bitcoin to TradFi, meaning TradFi is watching NVIDIA's earning report today to kind of get a gauge on the tariffs and everything else. And if this does go well, if they do have a good report, which normally they do, I mean, NVIDIA is the greatest company of all time right now, especially the last 4 years. And if they have a unrelated good push up, then everything's going to look really good. I mean, tariffs aren't really affecting them, which means tariffs might not be affecting like the entire TradFi area, right? So this is really good signs as well. We're really hoping to get good news today. So we'll look into that as well. But yeah, a lot going on today. So let's just jump right into it. Bringing my partner here as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up? My bad. I was on mute.
It's all good, man. How you feeling today, bro?
I feel okay. I feel all right. I feel like Ethereum seems to be bouncing back. Solana definitely had a really strong bounce back yesterday. The other parts of the market seems to be, at least kind of waking back up a little bit. Bitcoin's a little bit slow, but I think that's a good sign actually, because it could mean that alt market is getting fired up here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously Bitcoin ran the hardest, and then over the last 2 months, Ethereum has really pushed up. Today, we're actually seeing Solana up almost 6% today at 206. It's a really good sign. It means large caps could be their turn to start moving here. And if we do get that, then I guess we can all kind of predict the low caps and the micro caps after that before a resurgence of Bitcoin again, which take us to could be our next leg up there. So there's a lot of really good stuff coming. Do you kind of anticipate that? Are you kind of anticipating large caps kind of get moving now?
That's what it seems to be. That's what it seems like to be happening, right? Is that these large caps, these blue chips, seems to be getting some energy injected into them, but not the typical way. Maybe one of the reasons why Solana is running is because they have a publicly traded company that's injecting liquidity into Solana, right? And so I think we'll start to see one by one some of these larger, or I guess like you know companies and coins and projects and blockchains that have substance to them start to have these type of similar injections, maybe not as large, but I think it happens, and I think it becomes contagious, and I think along with that and retail wealth starting to bring energy as well, I think we start to have a stronger alt scene.
Yeah, 100%. And do you think that this Nvidia thing is a big deal, or from your side, or do you kind of think that maybe it's kind of overblown and it really won't move or break markets today?
Well, I think it is a big deal because Nvidia is considered the largest. It's like the replacement of Google, I guess you could say, in terms of impact, right? It's like the next like largest company that makes control sentiment sometimes, right? And so I think this is going to be a big meeting and big data that comes out of this, and it could set things up for this last part of the year, and that's what seems to be happening right now is finishing up the summer and then hopefully setting up a good Q4 to finish out the year.
Yeah, man, I agree. Yeah, actually looking forward to that 420. I might listen to that live here. Before we get started, though, let's jump into our good friend TK and let's just kind of see how he's doing over here. So let's check out the Solana chart first. Still kind of just upward momentum. We did have some upward momentum, but then we had some people come in and start selling a little bit. We had a $300 sale. We had a $700 sale earlier as well. Not really bothered by that. Actually glad they don't want to believe in it. That is fine. I do believe we're going to start pushing up here soon. Get back to this all-time high of 23. Really excited for that. So this is sitting at around 106K market cap. Definitely had that big pullback when Bitcoin dropped. This is looking at good as well. Still seeing about 168K here. It does look like there is people listing a little cheaper, which is good. We kind of want to get this at least close to where it is. That way, get people to start buying over here. So really excited for that. And then, let's check out the Trench Kitty as well. We're growing over 210 followers here, 84 people in the members. If you have not followed this account, please do so. If you have not joined the community, please do so. But what's your opinion on TK so far? He's about 9 days old now, so I'm not really stressed out about the price at all. I definitely am happy with the over 600 followers, holders, I can say now. So that's really exciting. This is growing every day. Solana side's dropping a little bit, but it could be people bridging as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think stop paying attention to the prices probably on a day-to-day would be the biggest thing, and pay more attention to growing the community, and that type of aspect that will come as the community grows, is my mentality, is how I approach it. Especially right now, is there's a transition in between, getting out of like Bitcoin and Ethereum only into more risk on, and as the market gets further into that, as we go into quantitative easing and rates get cut and stuff like that, we'll start to see more people get more relaxed with assets like this, right? And try to take a little bit more risk in these type of markets. So yeah, not worried about that. I would say the biggest thing is continually focus on growing the X account and the X community account, also educating on the Bitcoin side. The Bitcoin side is obviously growing. You can see it over there, and I think everything will take care of itself.
Yeah, man. And I talked to Raul from Fluid today, and he basically said reach out to him tomorrow. We're gonna get those vaults set up for Monday. So Monday morning, we're gonna have the TK vault set up where you will be able to take your TK rune and deposit it basically into your own wallet. You're going to time lock it into your own wallet there. It'll be a different wallet address, but it'll be your wallet, and only you can unlock that. There's nothing Fluid's going to do with your token at all. So you're going to time lock that in your wallet, and you will have to pay a little bit of fee for doing so. But then about 3% of the supply will go to everybody that actually stakes. So you're going to get potentially, might be able to 10x your tokens depending on how many people stake, right? So really excited to keep an eye on that. And if you are willing to participate in that, I think you're going to make out really well. So if you do not have your bridged Trench Kitty over yet, you might want to bridge it today or tomorrow and get ready for that Monday deposit. We'll have 10 days to deposit, so it's not going to be like super quick. So you'll have 10 days of deposit, and then on the 10th, it'll lock for 90 days. And after 90 days, you'll be able to claim your tokens back, and you'll be able to get that reward as well. So really looking forward to that. But let's get into the first topic of today's show. The U.S. government, strategic ETH reserve nears 20 billion with 4.36 ETH backed by 70 entities. How do you feel about this now? This is kind of getting kind of crazy that these ETH guys or these ETH companies are just buying so much of this now. Almost $20 billion between all the reserves here.
Yeah, I mean, ETH is starting to become really, really just extremely, extremely strong, right? I think actually, we think about our space as being risky, and there are parts of it that are extremely risky. You can have one end of the spectrum being like Solana, and the other end being Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I actually think that like these TradFi guys and institutions feel comfortable in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Honestly, like they do, because like they see people like Tom Lee and other institutions and heads and faces and stuff like that are just really confident in those specific assets. And I think like, probably the smart investor, like the conservative investor, would feel very, very okay in those type of assets. And but there's definitely just strength just continually builds for Ethereum right now. It's the focus. Obviously, Solana has been catching a little bit of momentum. We actually predicted that like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that like Solana would be next in terms of the treasuries. But yeah, I do think that like there's starting to become this like, I don't know, separation maybe of these like really conservative approaches that are, I mean, you can't deny that are successful, right? Whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or these institutional products as well. And then you have there isn't really too much of a middle right now. The only middle to me is the assets that are just haven't been gone into this strategy yet. The strategy of the DATs, the treasury companies. We see Solana's kind of going into that next. What's going to happen? And so it goes like those assets, those blue chips, and then no middle really. I guess you could consider like maybe Hyperliquid, like one of the middle ones, that type, but where we know that if they continually have success, they'll fall into that bucket too. And then you have like your high risk, which I mean, there's a lot that falls into that, like Bitcoin runes, Solana tokens, all these things, right? And so I think like our market is starting to be really molded into what's really safe, what's kind of a little bit in the middle, and then what's really risky. I don't know. Do you see it differently?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, ETH and Bitcoin are obviously, going to be two assets. I mean, these guys have been battle tested, right? Ethereum is like the strongest chain potentially ever when it comes to smart contracts. If Bitcoin is one of the greatest assets that's ever been, even thought of, right? Not to mention put out there and actually done well for 15 years. So yeah, 100%. I agree with you there. Next part of this is Metaplanet to raise 130 billion yen. So this got me a little bit too when I saw this, and it's not insane amount of money when I first looked at it. I was like, oh, 30 billion. So they will be selling down some stock to buy more Bitcoin. This is something they've been doing now potentially every week. So we'll get into that a little bit. What do you think about them? Selling more stock down.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, they're continually doing what they've always done, right? They're just like, they're looking at the opportunity, Bitcoin pulling back in price, and they want to acquire more. And this is the strategy. It is,
Yeah.
this is what it is. And so why wouldn't they do this whenever Bitcoin pulls back, right? I don't think Bitcoin goes to 102,000.
Yeah.
Even if we lose kind of this area, but I don't think we lose this area. I think that like, you know, we stay between 110 and 112 and then we start to march back up, or it like will tread while some of these other assets start to show strength.
Yeah, 100%. Do you still find this stuff news when Sailor and Metaplanet buy? I'm starting to get like just it's just, to me, it's just starting to, like, I just pass through it nowadays. I don't even look at it anymore.
I mean,
Obviously we're gonna get. I want to see the next state of company. These guys already have their mindset kind of collapsed to this. But what do you think?
yeah, I mean, I think when we stop seeing them in the headlines is whenever you need to pay attention and say, you know, what the heck? Like Metaplanet hasn't like purchased Bitcoin in a long time, or Sailor hasn't purchased Bitcoin in a long time. What's going on? But yeah, I agree with what you're saying. You know, it's just really repetitive at this point. To, you know, it's just their strategy, right? But you know, they put it in the headlines to get people bullish.
Yeah. And then this one is actually really awesome. Tom Lee predicts ETH going to $5,500 in the next couple weeks, 10,000 to 12,000 by end of the year. So that's a pretty big target. My target is 18,000 by May. The end of the year, I kind of agree with them, but I don't think we hit 10 exactly. I think my target for the end of the year is like 9,600 Ethereum, but who knows, right? ETH can get on its horse again and just ride up 100% from where it is. But I don't think we hit a full 100% from the last all-time high. I think we get close to that, but we don't actually pass that. But Tom Lee could be right too. And if we hit 12,000 this year, I mean, we could be at 20, 30,000 in May. I mean, that it could be, we could see some explosiveness.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think he just throws numbers around, dude. Like, I think he really truly believes this, you know. And so, if this is the case, then you know, the end of this year could be really, really bullish. And I expect it to pick up in September and in October and stuff like that. But what does that look like whenever Ethereum's $10,000 to $12,000? I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that made a lot of profit that held before. They're going to sell some of that down. They get probably risky, especially if we're in a risk on environment, which I think like there's like a 95% chance we are going to be in it, because, you know, the Fed knows that this is the time, you know, this is the time that like you can't not, you know, benefit from this phase that we're in right now, or we're about to be in at least. So I mean, 10, 12,000, I see that. But Tom Lee saying that, I think should get people even more excited.
Yeah, 100%. All right, jump to the next thing here. The U.S. government to begin publishing economic data on the blockchain. So yesterday they were at some event. Yesterday, Trump talked for like 3 hours, and then, you know, his right hand man there basically was saying that, you know, we're going to be putting everything on the blockchain. We're talking, you know, CPI, PPI, GDP. I don't know if they're just going to be developing their own blockchain or they're going to be using one of the public blockchains like Ethereum. But do you think this has any impact on the way the economy goes forward? And what do you think are some of the benefits of or putting all this information, this data, and timestamping it into the blockchain?
Well, I mean, I guess you can just have a place of reference, right, to go look at. I mean, but I believe they publish it on their websites and stuff like that. But being on the blockchain is there forever. I don't know, but it's a start for like putting government information on the chain, right? So I think like the next thing that probably a lot of these politicians are fearful about is, you know, voting and stuff like that, and you know, just having everything permanently there on the blockchain and to where you can reference and check on. But that's how I view it. I don't know if this is necessarily like an amazing thing, because, you know, you can already reference the economic data on their websites, but, you know, having it there permanently to where, you know, you can always point to it, I think is, I guess, a good thing to start with.
Yeah, I love this for the fact that, you know, how we're always getting these changes, right? The jobs numbers come out, and then a week later we're changing them. Now we're gonna have public record of that. Obviously, right now you can kind of go back in the paperwork, but having it on chain, on the blockchain, you can kind of see how many times they fuck up, right? And it's the wrong number. It's really going to hold them accountable now, because they're going to have to put a transaction into the chain every time they mess up. And we're actually going to be able to hold them accountable. It's no longer going to be, you know, use your eraser, and then, you know, in a report that no one reads, it comes out that, hey, oh yeah, remember the job number from April? That was wrong. It's like, what? because everyone's kind of misreads. Everyone just looks over it and says, "Oh, that's past data anyway." So I think that's going to be something here too. We're going to actually see. I would love to see the price of milk in April and the price of milk in that type of data as well. I want to see everything on there, so you can kind of just track it and see what stores they're going to, and just really checking the data and making sure that none of this stuff is being utilized, manipulated. Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, I mean that is definitely one thing. If you can get like the I guess the representatives of the Fed that go to these grocery stores and stuff like that, put the data directly on chain. Yeah, because then you can check and make sure it's not being manipulated. But also, sometimes you'll probably run into some hard truths too. But we need that.
Send it. Yeah, 100%. I got some bad stuff here for a second. So US spot Bitcoin ETF sees the 6th day of outflows, the longest streak since April. So we haven't seen Bitcoin having these much outflows in a long time. Colin Talks Crypto here. He has this he basically put out a statement about a week ago. And then he came out yesterday and basically said that he was right. So he said it looked like Bitcoin might reclaim the channel 112 today, but unfortunately it was rejected. Breakdown confirmed. So this is something he posted yesterday. Obviously, right now Bitcoin is right under where he was saying originally. So this is it right here. So this is basically the chart that he has, and he said if we cannot reclaim this, we're going to be seeing potentially 98,000. And then we'll just continue this bullshit chop that we've been in since May, really. But what do you think about this for Bitcoin? Do you think potentially we do break down, or can we catch this and ride this back up?
I mean, like Bitcoin getting below 100K to me is just that would be so weird. But I mean, like if you think about once we crossed over $100,000, I think the lowest we got was like 78, 79. So if you kind of do a comparison to that, it's like a 20% drawback. And if you're at like 124, that's probably somewhere in the range of like 105 to 108 to 105 range, right? Which I mean, Bitcoin does not look like super strong right now, but at the same time, we hit so many like little like milestones and highs over the summer, right? And so it's like being at 112 when we had so much trouble like really maintaining over 100K, before the summer started. It was like, okay, it's not that bad, but getting back below 100,000 to me is not good. But who knows? Like the one thing I think we could say is that we know we won't stay there if it does.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'm actually thinking the opposite here. I think that he's somebody who is not always right. He's somebody who's been he's long-term plan. I think he's really good at. His short-term stuff isn't always right. I mean, according to him, we should be at 160, right? So I mean, and we're not there yet. So I'm kind of thinking the same here. I love Colin Talks Crypto. I think he's amazing, but I do think that this was a breakdown here, but I don't see us continuing. I do see that the bottom is in at 108, which is the old all-time high. And I do think we start bouncing back here, back up to 124 before a breakout to 150. So I'm thinking that potentially the path to most pain would be a short squeeze to 130, 140. I don't think a lot of people are predicting right now that we go down, including Peter Schiff and all those guys. So I think normally what happens, we do the opposite.
Yeah, especially Peter Schiff, right? Like the fact that like he's in on like thinking it's gonna crash. I feel like it's definitely gonna go the opposite direction.
100%. All right, let's get into the next thing here. So Google Cloud has announced the launch of L1 blockchain GCUL. GCUL. I can't even say this. Cool, I guess you would say, which simplifies cross-border payments and assets settlements through a distributed ledger, basically a blockchain. So I dig further. GCUL is currently in a private testnet phase and announced partnership with CME earlier this year to pilot tokenized assets. Custom smart contracts instead of Solidity EVM. GCUL uses Python-based smart contracts as its core programming model. What do you think about this, dude? Google Cloud. So Google Cloud is obviously an off-brand of Google, but still same, right? But they're going to be doing potentially payments For Google Cloud, because I pay for it monthly. I think I pay the $2 to keep my pictures and everything on there. But what do you think about this potentially having its own blockchain and not using EVM or any of the proven languages so far?
I think it's Google kind of like you know, just showing flexing their muscle a little bit here. Saying that like we would never use like something that's out there. We create our own. That's just kind of the Google way, right? Whenever you go and try to apply for a job with Google, you got to go through like this strenuous like series of tests. They take you out to like the forest. You got to basically check your mental. Seriously, it's crazy. They check your mental attitude, but that also like put you in situations and stuff like that. But I say that because like I feel like this is like them just being like, okay, we're gonna create something that you guys have never seen.
Yeah, 100%. So this is the kind of information they put out. They are partnering with Stripe. They are partnering with Circle and Google Cloud. So obviously we do know Stripe and Circle are both planning their own blockchain, which I thought was weird. So it does feel like they're going to be in the same circle with these guys. But Stripe and Circle are building an EVM chain while Google's like, no, we're going to build our own thing. So these guys are kind of taking the easier route of the three. Blockchain architecture, Tempo is using EVM L1, Arc is using EVM L1. It's called Planet Scale Blockchain. Google developed L1. Launch date to be determined for Tempo, public testnet this fall for Arc, and private testnet for Universal Ledger, which is the Google Cloud. Existing distributors, millions of merchants, 1.4 trillion. No direct end user relationship for Arc, and Google scaled network affects billions of users, hundreds of institution partners, cloud. Like I said, like I pay my cloud $2 a month to that, so that'll probably go on the blockchain eventually. Tempo's using Stripe payment stack. UDC is a native gas sub-second finality, and this is built for finance, which is weird because you think of the cloud system, you don't think built for finance, but it is. So, but yeah, really interesting. Which one of these think is the most successful? Stripe, Circle, or Google Cloud with their blockchain, or you think maybe it's going to be just like a three-headed race altogether?
Like I would never doubt Google because I feel like they're just so talented. They have such a good, they can find the best talent in terms of Web3 too, and they can pay very amazing salaries too. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like, I wouldn't count them out of being the leader.
Yeah. I'm actually going to do the other side. I think Stripe wins the race. I think Stripe, just that 1.4 trillion. They have the entire credit card system. What happens when they just make a few changes in the back end and that credit card system's on the blockchain? I think that is set for the biggest win, in my opinion. But I think Google Cloud is close second, and I think Circle comes in third. I think Circle's just too new, right? They're the most crypto native, though, so that could be an advantage for them as well. But
the Google has the advantage in terms of onboarding. They're just masterful at it, right? Whether you're using your Gmail account, whatever you're using, they're really just experts at like bundling and being able to make it seem like convenient as possible, basically for the end user.
Yeah, I agree with you, but Stripe doesn't need it on board. They're just going to change the rails in the back end. You're already using it every time you flip your card.
And Stripe is a Web2 based company, so they know onboarding as well. It's not like you need it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the extreme best, and for them, like they have the experience plus they have the payment experience. So I mean that could give them a couple different advantages, right? Like they're in the payment game already. They know how Web2 users act, and then I would imagine they've probably been involved with Web3 longer than Google has, or like maybe as like fully into it.
Yeah, 100%. I think so too. I think this is going to be fun to watch, though. These Web2 companies are building here, and we are the most native to this, so I think we're gonna benefit the most from this, being know how crypto works and how the back end works. We're gonna be able to take advantage of a lot of situations that like normies probably can't. So we'll see what those advantages are and how to find them for sure. Moving along though, Sui partners with Alibaba Cloud, which I thought was really interesting, like right after Google announced it, to launch AI coding assistant for Sui Move developers, supporting English, Chinese, and Korean. Sui, with this partnership with Alibaba, I think is massive. It does sound like they went to Google and Google was like, no, like we're doing our own thing. So they went to the next best, in my opinion, which is Alibaba Cloud, if not Amazon Cloud.
Yeah. Alibaba Cloud is the largest in Asia, right? It's
Yeah.
Chinese company, right? So supporting English, Chinese, and Korean, which this is going to be big because now they can onboard different developers from different areas too. So this is big. I mean, you're going to have like the Western and then the Eastern kind of Web 2 / like tech companies really try to, I guess, like carve out their place in this space, right? And that's what this seems to be. Like Alibaba, we don't really use Alibaba much in the West, right? Like, I mean, unless you have like a retail store or something and you're ordering in bulk, then there's no real reason for you to use it back, and that probably not even anymore today. But like they've been such a big tech giant over there, so not surprised to see them partnering with a large blockchain.
Yeah, 100%. We use Alibaba sometimes when we can't find something that's like it's hard to find. For instance, like a plushie that my daughter wants or something, right? Like the Fear plushie from one of the Disney movies. You just can't find it anywhere. But for some reason, you can find all that stuff on Alibaba, and it's super cheap too. It's like it'll be $9, but you got to pay like $14 for shipping or something.
Yeah,
like that. So
but the shipping takes forever though, right? Or no?
It takes about 2 weeks. Yeah, it's about 14 and like 2-3 weeks normally for anything we get from there. But I like it. I like looking over there. If you switch from Amazon to Alibaba, I think you can probably save a lot of money, but you do have to wait. So that for us, it's like the convenience part of it. I can get it tomorrow for Amazon, and you gotta wait 2 weeks for Alibaba.
Yeah.
All right. Jump to the next thing here. So where is the beginning? Okay, so Hyperliquid had an issue yesterday, and let me actually bring up. Let me get rid of this. So this is it right here. So a whale, basically a couple whales, 4 of them to be exact. The whale took a significant long position on XPL. And I looked up XPL is a native token of the Plasma blockchain, a purpose-built high-performance EVM compatible L1 designed from the ground up for stablecoins, especially Tether. Right. So there's this XPL token, and this whale basically took a huge position, triggering a 200% surge. As you can see here, it shot up and immediately shot down. It's a huge short squeeze. I destroyed all the shorts over there. Everyone who was shorting got liquidated so quickly. 4 major addresses participated in hedging and short squeezing of XPL, with profits reaching $46 million. So they made $46 million off doing this, basically using Hyperliquid, which is a decentralized platform, and basically kind of stealing money from anyone who was shorting this. What do you think about this? And is this something we should be worried about? I know there's a lot of reasons for me to got to worry about Hyperliquid, but people can take a lot of money and basically short anyone they want very quickly, and that happens on one chain, and that's Hyperliquid.
I mean, is that they kind of did similar, not exact situation, but someone tried to do this to affect Hyperliquid's LPs, actually, right? So I mean, it's just manipulation. The more money that you have, the more you can move around, the more impact you make, right? And so this is definitely sucks for all those shorters. How much got shorted? Sorry, I missed the 46. Wow. Oh, he made $46 million.
The 4 wallets together made $46 million.
God dang, man! Just imagine being just a quick little transactions, series of transactions. You make $46 million, man. Must be great to be them.
Yep, and basically all he did, obviously he lost money on the original. Well, not because he had to buy all the way up, right? Because it was probably a lot of things. So he lost money on that buy purchase, but by going long, they made insane amount of money. The other 3 wallets that were hanging, like they went long with it and knew exactly when to take profit because they all took profit together. That's why you're kind of seeing this giant green and this giant red very quickly. I think this is the 5-minute chart too. So this was 10 minutes. It made $46 million in 10 minutes.
It's crazy.
So should we be worried about this? Is this something if you are shorting on Hyperliquid, potentially anything. They can do this to any coin.
I mean,
Obviously,
yeah, that's the game you play when you're using leverage in that type of asset. I don't think it's harder to do that like against like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And
yeah.
I mean, XPL is not like some tiny asset, but still, it's like it's not as formidable as Ethereum or even Solana. XPL is that the Stellar Lumens? No, that's XLM.
No. This is I went over. It's plasma. It's a Bitcoin. Where is that? So it was a XPL, the native token of the Plasma blockchain, a purpose-built, high-performance EVM compatible L1 blockchain designed from the ground up for stablecoins and especially Tether. So it's an L1 blockchain using EVM. They're basically, I'd never heard of it honestly until yesterday, but these whales did, and they saw they
got angry
looking for something. Well, they must have been looking for something that they could pump, with a couple $1 million and just pump it up 200%. And by doing that, you destroy all the shorters, and you take advantage of the upward and probably short it on the way down.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like heavy manipulation, but I think it's just them playing the opportunity, right?
I mean, no, this is 100% manipulation. I mean, this is them creating the opportunity. That's manipulation. See, when you play the opportunity is fine, but when you create the opportunity and know when to get out, that's total manipulation. That's corrupt shit. So Binance and stuff, they would get a hold of that. Like if this happened on Binance, or like they would basically be able to stop that stuff with centralized methods very quickly. Right, so this stuff doesn't happen. That's what their market makers are there for and stuff like that. So Hyperliquid doesn't have that because they are decentralized and doesn't feel like they have anybody that should be watching this. Do you think people should be watching this for Hyperliquid to kind of stop this stuff from happening?
I don't know, but weird stuff happens on Binance too. There was a token that was, I think, on Solana that dropped all the way to like $700,000 market cap, and because they listed it, it jumped to like 70 million. You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like they don't stop that. You know what I mean? And it started off at like I think like 5 million or 10 million to drop to 700,000 and then 70 million. It's just there's manipulation happening everywhere, right? But this type of thing, we'll see. Like maybe someone that has really deep pockets and really strong connections gets burnt, and then they reach out to the regulators because they know them very closely or something. I don't know, but
what are the regulators going to do? Decentralized platform with a foundation. I mean, there's nothing.
That's at the end of the day, it's kind of like I guess all the risks before you go into stuff, right? Like,
yeah.
And so that this is a small possibility, but it's still a possibility for you to get wrecked and lose everything.
And think about it too, like, this isn't available in the EU. This isn't available in the US, right? You have to use VPNs to use this stuff. So it's like the regulators, like, hey, we can't protect our citizens, so they're not allowed to use it, right?
Yeah.
So if you put a VPN on your computer and then do this whole thing, then I mean, you should be, it's your own risk. I mean, you're playing a game there at that point. But Hyperliquid stated in Discord that the XPL Hyper P market saw a sharp spike today, with the mark price jumping 2.5x in the minutes. The protocol functioned normally, triggering liquidation. So all they came out and said, hey, this is nothing that happened. This is exactly how it's supposed to work. So that's all they said. They said Hyperliquid is working great, is basically what they said. Like, I thought that was kind of funny. But it is funny that they come out on Discord. Like, they don't do Twitter, nothing like that. It's they're very Discord, but they are just the foundation at the end of the day, right? Yeah, they control the chain because they probably own a good portion of the tokens, but they airdropped most of the tokens to users. Users actually could have, if they got together, they could make the changes to Hyperliquid, and disrupt all the foundation's plans anyway, because this is what a DAO is, or decentralized autonomous organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what can you do, right? The only thing you can do is just be careful, set your stop losses, that type of situation.
Yeah,
that's it.
100%. So this is adding a little bit to this, so whales are also targeting WLFI. For the WLFI contract on Hyperliquid between 625 and 630, its price soared to 0.43 at one point before quickly retracing. So they tried doing the same thing with WLFI, but I think it was just too new. And so it does feel like this one was kind of stopped maybe by Hyperliquid or something. I don't know. But they tried doing the same thing to WLFI token because there wasn't a lot of liquidity there. And they were able to just kind of push this thing up a little bit. And I do have another chart. I can actually show you that chart. Here it is right here. So this is what happened over there. It does look very similar to the last one, though, right? Shot up on the 5-minute candle and then immediately came back down. So it does feel like something happened here where they were able to do something for WLFI token. Otherwise, you would have probably seen the same chart that we just seen.
Well, the chart before had a wick too, though, didn't it?
No, barely any wick. I mean, there's yeah, you're right. There's a little bit of wick, but like to the comparison, I mean,
yeah. So basically, but actually, I feel like that could have happened like quicker though, because if you go up and quickly down, and then that 5-minute candle is done, it just depends on when the 5-minute candle is done, right? Because the other one looks like it wicked up and the 5-minute candle was done as it was starting to sell down. So the new one actually happened, and you can actually tell because on the other one there's a wick on the red candle. So it just basically was in between. It was in between that shoot up. As soon as that shoot up happened, it started to sell down. It was probably fighting back and forth a little bit, and then it crossed over to the new candle, which ended up being horrible. Both of them are not great situations for the people that's left holding the bag, right? Because at the end of the day, that's where you don't want to be in this space. You don't want to be left holding the bag or liquidated.
Yeah, 100%. And what happens if they start doing the opposite and just shorting these things down to like almost zero, and before people have to come in and can start buying it up? So yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Like I said, Hyperliquid is something new and different, and there's going to be people who try to exploit it for their own gain, right? And that's kind of what we're seeing. But I think this stuff is just testing, dude. Like I think these are just test pilots yet, like seeing like what they can get away with and stuff like that. I don't think they've done anything yet. And when it comes to manipulation, and this could be Binance, this could be one of the bigger players in the space. I'm not saying it's Binance. I'm just saying it could be part of that mafia, the off-chain mafia.
Yeah, make $46 million while you're testing it. Why not?
So. But we'll see. Jump to the next thing here. So Donald Trump Jr.'s VC firm, it's called 1789 Capital, invests tens of millions into Polymarket. He also joins the advisory board. How do you feel about Donald Trump Jr. now taking some Polymarket shares before they go public? And potentially they will be going public now with Donald Jr. on the board. That's always been the plan, they said.
I mean, Polymarket is going to be huge in the future. People are going to continually use it all the time. It's just going to be a huge revenue company. You're going to start to hear in the billions in the future because like everybody's going to use it. They're going to use it as a reference. It's smart for him to get involved here, because he's going to be able to make a ton of money doing this.
Yeah, I mean, pre-IPO, I mean, this is going to be huge for him. For anyone who they let into this, and especially joining the board, you got to get say in what is happening. And these guys are control. Obviously it's decentralized the way everything's happening, but these guys are controlling this. There is no DAO here. This is the heads of the company make all the rules because there is no token. And I don't think they want a token. I think what they're going to do here is they're going to go public and they're going to live off the fees because we already know the fees are astronomical at this point. This could be one of the biggest companies in the world one day in the stock market, maybe top 20, top 10, right? So we'll see.
Yep.
A couple things here. So YZY Labs, so this is CZ's company here, announced an investment in stablecoin protocol USDAI without disclosing the specific amount. So remember yesterday we saw the bubbles. I was like, what is that USDA? Well, apparently that's the stablecoin. That's this company's stablecoin. I think it's their coin, not the stablecoin itself. So, but YZI Labs, man, getting involved in a stablecoin game. But so I went deeper. So this is so it's USD AI is a yield-bearing synthetic stablecoin backed by computing resources, AI hardware, and network nodes. I gotta dig deeper because that's a little bit confusing as well. But it is not backed by treasuries. It is not backed by anything. But CZ's involved. That's the one part that's game changing for me.
Yeah, CC. It actually doesn't surprise me though. I guess because he feels more relaxed now. Because there's new administration in the U.S. The regulators are more crypto friendly, way more crypto friendly, right? But I think before the transition to the administration, he would never touch this. He would never even come close to something like this. But now he's, you can tell too in his text or his tweets and stuff that he feels kind of back to who he was. He's not obviously as involved with Binance on the day to day, but he doesn't need to be. I mean, like the guy's filthy rich. He's, living it up. He's, probably living in Dubai or wherever. And, but these are like fun kind of side things for him. Wish you had that life, right? Like getting involved with something like this was just a side thing.
Yeah, I mean, they put millions of dollars in this, and you're right, dude. He is, he's using his money he earned from Binance, and he's just putting it in places to kind of move crypto along. I mean, what if this works though? Like, what if we go into this algorithmic, AI controlling it, right? So instead of it's just being an algorithm where it's stupid, right? It just does what it's told to do, but actually having an AI being able to think of processes in the back end while it's being told stuff to do, where it can kind of make a move to stop something like Terra Luna, in the sense of it could potentially pause it, so where it doesn't just go nuts like Terra Luna did and oversupply the Terra Luna token. So I mean, I love this, and you're gonna add basically smart contracts with an AI doing the algorithm back stablecoin. I love this. Like I love AI, right? So I love every part of this. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, but I think you used to say that you weren't for algorithmic stablecoins, right? But this changes your mind.
Isn't, because you're basically gonna add an intelligence aspect to the algorithm. So basically an algorithm is just, hey, when this happens, do this, when this happens, do this, check out this, when you know what I mean. It's just a bunch of just code written,
Oh, checks and
balances. It lives off that code. It's like a Bible, right, for it.
Yeah.
But if you add AI into it, the AI can potentially end
Checks
up
and
doing
balances.
yeah, exactly, making sure that, hey, this is wrong here. Like I shouldn't do this, right? In that sense, and maybe making changes while the process is being attacked.
Yeah.
So
Much better than just a standalone algorithmic stablecoin.
100%. But we'll see if it even works. But it's still cool to kind of see potentially where it goes. But let's jump into today's crypto fear and greed. So last week we were at a 45. Yesterday we were at a 43. Where do you think we are today? We are actually higher than last week's 45.
47.
Boom, got it. So we're at 47 right now. I don't know. How are you feeling with 47? I'm just like,
I mean, this is a very weird time to try to gauge sentiment. Because you see Ethereum rebounding right now, and it's rebounding slowly, and then you see Bitcoin trying to rebound, but it's kind of bleeding slowly. So it's like they're kind of going away from each other, against each other, but in slow motion. You know what I mean? But I mean, I guess that's really good for Ethereum and maybe some of these alts. But the crypto bubbles looks really good today too, and so I mean, I think this is more of a bounce back for alts more than anything, and Bitcoin's probably just treading water right now.
Yep. All right, let's get into our next segment here, which is the Bitcoin price action and crypto bubbles, brought to you guys by Artura Finance. Guys, we had them on the show yesterday. They're getting ready to launch on a 2100 Bitcoin world. There will be tasks for you to do to kind of get their badge. I've been earning all the badges over there, because I am anticipating probably getting one of the bigger airdrops, because I'm using it every single day. I use a 2100 Bitcoin world every single day. I got about 6 of the 8 badges. I'm still waiting to kind of figure out a couple of them, but I'm going to be doing an airdrop video once this goes live as well, kind of teaching you guys what I have done, how to kind of get these badges, so you guys can get the airdrop that I'm going to get. And the airdrop is Bitcoin, guys. I'm going to be getting free Bitcoin, potentially thousands and thousands of dollars of this. But not to mention what Botonics, that's what Botonics is giving me. But then Artura is also doing a points program for trading there. So potentially I'm going to earn that as well because I'm just trading there. I do have a long open with ETH still that's doing really well. So thank you, Marion, yesterday. We covered that in a little bit as well. So, but really, if you guys watched that stream yesterday, Marion told me to go long. He didn't say 25x. I did that on my own, but he said, hey, if I would do anything, I would go long here. So I went long yesterday and made money. So guys, tune into that. It's every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to check out markets. We're going to look at trading. We'll look at really cool stuff. All the questions for an expert like Marion is. We had Alpha Gamer in there, who's also an expert in the chat. And even he was impressed by Marion's skills. So really looking forward to next Tuesday and really looking forward to Artura.finance.
Absolutely, guys. Excited about that segment. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, help us out on the YouTube side. Hit that like and then sub to the channel. Excuse me, I got something in my throat. Sub to the channel and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. And then on the X side, share the Trench Kitty and On-Chain Revolution space that we're streaming to, and then also all the other platforms as well. But let's get into some price action here, starting with the hour chart with Bitcoin. I guess the 15-minute is what I had it on. I was trying to look at something earlier, but let me reset this chart. All right, perfect. All right, the hour chart. So it does look like we want to continue some momentum here, or at least Bitcoin wants to. We started to get back into the buy pressure momentum at yesterday at 12. So yesterday, was a better day. Definitely. We had that bounce back and then pull up and then up again. So, depending on how strong this buy pressure gets for Bitcoin, which I don't know how strong it gets because we did have really strong buy pressure, yesterday. We'll see. We'll have to check and see if we're just going to tag up here. But you can see that, the fast line is definitely crossed over already, and we're kind of trying to point upwards, and the stochastic RSI is living in the overbought territory. So I guess the only other thing to check is really the support and resistance to see how strong these indicators are truly forecasting. So right here, and I'm going to last night, I'll use that data last night around 8 p.m. But you can see right here at the 111, almost 112, so 111 900 area, support is winning that battle, and below as well, and above. So we don't really give in to the resistance for we're looking pretty good actually in these areas. So I won't be shocked if Bitcoin does stay in, with the stronger buy pressure. Maybe we get even a little bit like aggressive with Bitcoin, because I'm seeing like the support is definitely overpowering resistance in most all of these price points. If I pull it up even a little bit, let's see if that changes. It changes a little bit. It gets a little bit more balanced out in this area, and that's just going from this morning, 2 a.m. this morning. So it does get a little bit more balanced out, but I mean, not losing much at all. If any areas, it's still, the support's really looking pretty strong here. So wouldn't be shocked if we get back above 112 and stay there between 112 and 113 for the rest of today. Looking at the 4-hour real quick. So this chart looks so much better than it has been looking. I mean, this was really bad. We stayed down here in the oversold territory for quite a while. And you can see now we've started this buy pressure, but it hasn't really been super aggressive yet. But if that shorter time frame does kind of push us up and prop this up, on the hour chart, and we could start to see something, be swirling up here, I guess I could say, for maybe like tomorrow and heading into the weekend, possibly. I mean, we typically don't get super bullish Fridays, but we'll see how this plays out. The 4-hour looks pretty good, but if the shorter time frame gives us a thrust up, we get back to like 113, 114, we could see something good for Bitcoin, or at least aggressively to the upside. But you got Colin saying, it doesn't look great, but this doesn't look that bad. Now, I'm just gonna jump to Ethereum real quick, because I feel like Ethereum is the one that's really, performing decent here. You see us back above 4,600. But you got to remember too, we were just at right under 5,000. That was crazy. We were about to crack 5K, and that's whenever we started to dump. But look at this, man. I mean, like this was crazy. We were in sell pressure for so long on Friday. We didn't come out until Monday night. Monday night we started coming out, and it looks pretty decent. So this was that Bart Simpson kind of pattern. I know it looks more like Batman, but like the whole journey is what I mean by the Bart Simpson pattern. You get the spike up, then you get chop, and then you get pretty much a big dump down. But now we're starting another trend, right? So we're gonna see this is good. We're starting an uptrend, right? So we could have started a small bounce back with continuation of a downtrend, but that wasn't the case here. We completely changed trend on the hour chart. So for me, what I'm expecting is a continuation with this, with corrections, right? What it could be kind of choppy or slow to get there, but you can see we do have that trend starting to the upside now. If it was going to continue, we would see something like this, and then down again, and then again, a downtrend continuation, but we didn't. So to me, this is showing that it's trying to reverse, but it's not going to reverse like in a volatile way. It took time to get here. So probably, a little correction with another leg up. So Ethereum looks really good in terms of the direction it's heading. And if Tom Lee's correct about, being $10,000 to $12,000 by the end of the year, you got to imagine, by October, we got to be at like 6,500. You know what I mean? Or somewhere around there, 6,000. So I don't know. It looks good for Ethereum. I think Ethereum looks really strong right now. It's still being heavily talked about in terms of, being in the headlines. And, yes, there's going to be other alts that are, going to be talked about as well, like Solana right now getting a lot of attention. But Ethereum, to me, is still that main dog right now. In the current area that we're at right now. The 4-hour looks amazing for Ethereum because we just came out of this, horrible dip and just sell pressure right here, right? It looked really deep, you can see, and now we're coming out. So what I'd like to see is really strong buy pressure from the MACD. We're barely crossing over right now the fast line and the slow line. So we have some upside here if it does decide to push up here. So we could get pretty aggressive, maybe by Friday, or heading into Friday, I should say. The monthly probably looks very good still. If I pull this down, yeah, I mean the monthly for Ethereum looks really good. I mean, it looks really strong here. So I mean, I can't imagine Ethereum being like killed in September. I think more than anything, Bitcoin might have like the struggle and stuff up until it's ready to get hyper aggressive again. But that might be October for Bitcoin. But I think Ethereum is going to be strong here in September, ending the month here. I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But let's take a look at the crypto bubbles here. Crypto bubbles, very green. Crypto.com benefiting Crow a ton. You can see right here, 34% increase. Pump token up 10%. Hyperliquid up 7.3%. Radium up 8.6%. Hex up 7.5%. You got Solana pulling up 8.9%. AVAX pulling up 5.2%. XDC pulling down 2.6%. XLM pulling down 1.3%. So like those ISO 222 or whatever they're called, 2022, that I guess maybe there was some, I don't know, maybe not related, but these two were in that, and they're pulled back here. Arbitrum pulling back 2.3%. Aerodrome pulling back 1% there. Ondo pulling up 3.1% curve. So everything pretty much pulled up on average. So kind of did the opposite of what it's been. So it's more to the upside, about 5% there. And then the top 200 here, VVS. So, I mean, Kronos looks like it's starting to heat up. You got the Crow token. VVS is the main swap on Kronos. It's up 31.3%. They're very institutional too. If anybody had a chance to mess around with Kronos, like it was not your typical VVS was not your typical DEX. It wasn't like necessarily like looked all cartoonish and all that stuff. It was very institutionalized, and a lot of people said it was because it was probably funded by crypto.com. which makes sense. You see Dog go to the moon up 9.4%, Syrup up 12.4%. And yeah, that's going to wrap up the crypto bubbles and the Bitcoin and Ethereum price action.
Yep. Great job, man, on that. Let's jump over to the roll call. But before we do, remember, guys, we are giving away some 300,000 TK today. All you got to do is put TK, and if you're not on X, put your X handle so I can find you. I got to add a few more people still in here. I'll do that when I'm done, and we'll get to this in a little bit. So you still have some time. All you got to do is put a TK in the chat, and we'll get you at it and spin this wheel in a little bit. But first, let's kind of get into the roll call here. And every single day, we like to take that first comment of the day and put it on a sheet. Shout out to my guy, Matt. Congratulations to you. You have your 5th win of the year. Absolutely awesome to see, man. Really cool. See you in there as always. So shout out to you. But Matt says, send it. Let's go. Then he said, let's go, because he was first. My guy, Arita, is here. Shout out to Arita with a TK. I'm going to add you in a few minutes. I got you, ASAP NG. Bitcoin is Truth is here. I'm going to add you. I added you already. Added you. Abstract. Shout out to you guys. Spindrift. Vader Time. K99 got you added. Chips and Dip. Shout out to you, my friend. Satoshi Nakamoto is here with a GM. Shout out to you. Matt's going to add you in a few seconds as well. Lackey Lukey is here. Congrats, Matt's GM. Buenos Ideas. I absolutely love your name. I say it every day, but I really do. Joko got you, my friend. Super fan, my guy. So glad that you're here and joining us, hanging out like always. Matt's again. 2 Matts in the chat. Dogs on Air. Shout out to you, my friend. Thanks for being here today. Glasshopper with the support each and every day. Rick G, TK, Trenching with the Kitty. Absolutely love it, man. Absolutely love it. No is here. No, my guy, GM to all. Chief Axel, every single day, man. You guys being here every day, man, really, really makes it awesome. It's really cool to kind of see you each and every day. Murr is here. Gonna add you. Make Bitcoin fun again. Patty Poo, the Bitcoin machine himself. Nighthawk UXL says, Buenos dias, fellas. My guy. Appreciate you, man. Again, another one of you guys here every single day. Do not miss. And then Cash Cats with the coffee and the donuts and the dog. Go to the moon. Shout out that Cash Cats every single day. Really, really awesome. And yeah, I'm just gonna add a few of you guys. I didn't add yet. We're gonna add Arita to this, Arita TV, and I'm pretty sure I got rest of you guys. Let me just make sure. Let me see. Cash Cats, I'll add you because you're just a legend. And I do have your Twitter handle, so, and you have the cat in there, so I got you there, Cash. But I do have a couple more topics we can get into first while I do this in a little bit. But Nighthawk, I got Nighthawk. Yep. All right, cool. All right, let's check them out. So decentralized lending protocol Aave has officially launched its institutional grade platform. So Aave is actually going institutional now. I do have more on this. Let me just find this. Man, I'm kind of messing up here. Where is it? All right, yeah, here we go. Okay, so decentralized platform lending protocol Aave officially launches its institutional grade platform Horizon, enabling qualified institutions to borrow stablecoins such as USDC, GHO, RLUSD using tokenized US treasuries and loan-backed RWA assets as collateral. The platform is built on a permissioned version of Aave v3. So they're not centralizing Aave. They're basically forking it and creating a centralized version of that for these big guys to use on a daily basis, where they can take loans out against their RWAs. They can take loans out against their business, against their equity in that business, against anything they own, their house, potentially. What do you think about Aave kind of going centralized here a little bit? This is the Aave Foundation. I mean, there's Aave already that's, run by the Aave token. And then you have this centralized entity, the Aave Foundation, that is creating this.
I think this is the way that it was intended to be. People might hate to hear that, but like teams like Aave that started that company in the protocol, they wanted to have a certain level of success. And I think that, like, if crypto was received well initially, this type of interaction and platform and stuff would have been created in 2022 or 2021, right whenever they did it, because like you would fast track a lot of this stuff, because now this is how you go from like a company or a worth $100 million to $1 billion or even more. So this is natural, in my opinion, natural progress of evolution of successful Web3 projects. It's just, it is what it is. Like, and you can decide that if you don't want to be institutionalized and all that stuff, but 9 out of 10 people are going to take the institutionalized route because there's just billions of dollars that are flowing in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean like the foundation of crypto isn't about decentralization and stuff. You still can have those options with Bitcoin and Monero or whatever. Obviously, there's ways to be attacked. We saw that with Monero. But my point is that when it comes to business and when it comes to the economy in the US, what I'm seeing right here is the natural evolution of successful companies.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is needed too. I don't like it. I actually hate it, but I think it is needed. Because remember when we covered this story way back when, but remember when FTX kind of went under, a bunch of banking guys kind of took over, right? And they went to pull some of their equity out of Aave. And what they end up doing was they ended up taking too much, and which caused a liquidation event. And there's nothing the Aave Corporation, no one could do about it. So they actually lost millions and millions of dollars because they pulled out the collateral out of that, and which caused the liquidation of their previous collateral. So they wrecked themselves by trying to take out money that it was stupid to do so, but they were uneducated on how that protocol worked. So this is actually going to come in and be that backbone there to say, okay, you got liquidated. We're gonna refund you that money because we know it was a mistake. I don't like that though.
Yeah, but I feel like that this is inevitable, that it's these kind of people are going to try to control and have this much power over institutions like this, and they'll allow it because they're going to make a ton of Aave is going to make a ton of money from this, right?
Yeah. The
But
fees and all that.
but I get your point. It's just, I guess, as an individual, do you feel like you're going to stay away from stuff
I
like
can't
this?
use this. I'm not
Yeah, I mean, like,
accredited investor.
stay away from Aave though. Would it
So
make you?
obviously, I think this is two different. So in reality, they just forked it and they're making a centralized version of it, right? So I love Aave. I think it's, if I did take out a loan, I would do it on Aave rather than Coinbase. For the main reason is that, you know what I mean, it's just decentralized. It's just a smart contract. That's it. I have no worry of Coinbase going down, no worry of Aave going down. I know that nothing around Aave matters, just me and my trade, right? That's it. So that's the one reason. So I just feel I wish they would just, obviously they renamed it Horizon, but I just wish that it was like a separate entity that was just using the the Aave fork or something. But they wanted to put the Aave name on it because it's been trusted for so long. So
Yeah, but as a decentralized entity, right? So that's what I'm trying to say, is that
well,
like
they're
there's
using the
like,
same smart contracts and everything. So it's
yeah, and they're gonna money. If you give me a lot of money, then I'll build whatever you want, or like, you know what I mean. So that's business in America.
yeah, but like I said, we can't use it. This is just
Yeah.
for like the bigger entities, the gate kept, right? This is completely gate kept, so it's not like something that we're even going to be allowed to use. But then the only one that really profits from this is the Aave Foundation, unless they go and rebuy the token with the profits, which
Yeah.
they don't really have to do that. But we'll see. All right, this one's interesting. So, according to data from Strategic Soul Reserve, 13 companies, we talked about Ethereum earlier. So, this is kind of why, and you kind of hit it on the head earlier when you said, a lot of institutions are coming in to buy Solana. That's why Solana is moving up. But here's a chart here. So, basically, you're seeing these SSR entities, 8.2 million Solana combined staking reserves. So, they are also staking it, just like Ethereum, which is absolutely huge. And this is why Solana is kind of moving up today, is because of all this. I mean, it's 1.4% of the Solana supply so far, and this is just the very beginning. What happens is if this 10x is like the Ethereum did?
It will. I think it will for sure because people are excited about it. You got big people involved with it too. I mean, David Sachs, might not be directly involved with it. He Solana does well. He does well, right? So, I think it's gonna, you know, he can't be the face of the Solana treasuries, but someone I think will come out and try to take that kind of role, right? It's like every coin has their person, and Sailor with Bitcoin, Tom Lee with Ethereum, and who's
Well,
going to be?
yeah, David Sachs actually had to sell his position in the capital company that he was in before he took the role with President Trump. So he no longer owns. It was I forget the name of that capital. It's the one that DPI is trying to be for Arch, multi-chain capital. So he actually sold his position. He had an equity position in multi-chain capital, and he actually sold it before taking the job with Trump. So he no longer owns multi-chain, well, a portion of multi-chain capital. But I see your point though, and it's one of those things where obviously he's probably friends with those guys, right? So he's definitely probably a part of it as well. So and that is that. But it does look like we have a guest here. Which is awesome. So every single Wednesday, we like to kind of showcase one of our partners, and that partner today is the great guys over at Sats Terminal. Sats Terminal is building one of the premier, dexes, in my opinion. They're using, basically going in and finding you the best price, aggregating you the best price through all the marketplaces. So let's just say you want to buy some dog, you look on Magic Eden, you see the price for it and you buy it there, but you messed up by not going to Sats Terminal and seeing that dot swap is actually cheaper, maybe 4 or 5% cheaper. And at the end of the day, that could be a lot of money depending on your size. So not going to Sats Terminal first is a mistake that a lot of people make. Make sure you guys are going over there. Make sure you guys are checking before you buy, and buying over there as well, because they do have a rewards program where they're giving you Amber. We're not 100% sure what the Amber is going to be, but we do know what rewards programs in the past have done, and some of them have enriched myself as well, right? So I got a lot of airdrops and stuff like that. I'm not saying this is, but that's something to kind of keep your head on a swivel for, and just kind of be a part of this reward program. But without further ado, let's bring up Rishabh. Java, what's up, buddy?
Yo, what's going on? Thanks for that introduction about Sats Terminal. Yeah, if you're not checking Sats Terminal where best price is guaranteed, you're messing up. So make sure you check Sats Terminal before you buy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So did you have the pleasure of traveling, like 20 hours across the world to go to Bitcoin
No.
Asia, or you stayed back? Okay, cool.
I'm staying back now. Someone's got to hold the fort down. Someone's got to code. So that I went last year. It was great. I really like Hong Kong, but not this year.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
So what's been going on as a builder? Like the market's been kind of up and down, but you guys kind of just continually build, and you do your raises and stuff like that. Do you feel like it's been busier recently, or it's about the same, because you guys are constantly always building anyways?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's about the same. We create a lot of artificial urgency for ourselves within the team. So regardless of the market, we are always in a state of urgency. That's why, like, as a team, our speed has remained the same, and we're like constantly in the state of like keep shipping more, gotta keep launching. So right now we're very close to having a borrow product out. We have the 100 people alpha group set up that can come in and try the product, and we're just onboarding people from there, integrating more markets, integrating more borrow markets, and making the product better. And we're really hyped to see how that would go. And we see that as like a stepping stone into like using Bitcoin as like a settlement asset for trading perps, as like a base asset, and like doing other things like buying meme coins and other currencies, but then using Bitcoin as collateral. So you're not selling, you keep your Bitcoin exposure, but you're able to go and maybe buy some trench kitty. So yeah, those are things we want to explore with time. And right now we're just getting the first version out, and it's all hands on deck till that one's out. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. So recently you guys, we've talked a lot about this borrowing and lending product that you guys have been working on, right? And how has that been? We know that you have a beta test group. Have they been, helping out? And how do you feel about that product? Do you feel like it's right there, or still need a little bit more time?
It's too early to tell because we need more feedback from users. We like my product instinct tells me that that is there. It's going to be a great product. We're going to get a lot of people getting loans against Bitcoin. But I think a lot of the volume comes from establishing trust with whales and institutions, and that's going to take some time. So we're doing everything we can to make sure we're ranked top on SEO. We've got amazing branding. Everything should look really good. In fact, we're not using Sats terminals. It's called Use Hedge. That's the brand name that we're going with for the borrow product. So we're trying to make sure everything's like really pristine. So when you come in with your Bitcoin, you feel like you're really well taken care of by the product itself. And I think we've done a decent job at achieving that so far, but there's room for improvement. And once we get more feedback, we'll know for sure whether we have product market fit within this domain that we think can be a very big market with them. So yeah, it's just a matter of getting it in the hands of more people, and you're getting more feedback. Overall, we have a very good feeling about it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's really cool to kind of see, Sats Terminals kind of becoming the umbrella for the aggregator and the lending platform and the projects that you guys are building alongside them. So it's really kind of cool to see you guys evolve, not just depending on the aggregator itself, but also digging into I mean, we were just talking about Aave and how they are basically bringing institutional grade, borrowing and lending to the big boys, right? We're talking the JP Morgans, the upper echelon of money, right? And you guys are actually on track for something potentially bringing an amazing product using, I'm guessing you guys are using smart contracts and other blockchains as well.
Yeah, it's completely cross-chain. So like it's for you. I don't know if you demoed it last time. I think we did like in one of the previous episodes, but it's like super simple, completely cross-chain. So we compare rates on Aave and Morpho right now across Optimism, Ethereum, Base, and Arbitrum. And across those four chains, we'll pick the cheapest market, whether that's denominated in USDC, BDC, WBDC, or CBBDC. And then we'll bridge to that asset, deposit it as collateral, get your stable coins, and send them out to your platform wallet from where you can withdraw it to like exchange to off ramp, or later to like a card so you can like spend with it, or go trade perpetuals or something. So it's already cross-chain. That's like an important part of this, because the good money markets the most liquid money markets right now are on these layer 2 blockchains. So what we're having to do is bridge the assets over for the user, but instead of expecting the user to bridge it and figure out how to get their Bitcoin into a wrapped asset, we take care of it end to end for them while retaining custody at all touch points. So at no point do we have access to the funds. It's either them or a very trust minimized protocol like Aave that gets custody. So yeah, funds stay very safe. We're not going to have something like there are multiple horror stories. So that's just not possible in our case, because we can't rehypothecate your funds. We don't get access to touch your Bitcoin. And that it helps us sleep better. It helps everybody sleep better. And that's the case.
Yeah, the users specifically, I think, would sleep better for sure. But exciting stuff. And let's talk a little bit about Amber too. Season 1 is still going on right now. When is season 2? Is it right around the corner, or are we going to take a break in between?
I think we're going to take a break in between. We don't have the exact, I'm not able to share the exact timelines yet. But once we are more public about it, we come on the show, talk about it, tell everybody what's going on. And right now, I think we're also thinking of ways to tie in some incentives from the existing Amber point holders and the people that were in the season 1 for when they use the new products, and also send back some incentives from there over to the guys.
Gotcha. And remember, if you're in the audience too, if you want to be a part of their beta testing group, you got to reach out to them on X. So first follow them on X at Sats Terminal, and then send them a message and let them know that you guys are interested. But yeah, what Shizzy's showing is the Amber Point section there, the dashboard, to where you can just make transactions. And the first time you connect your wallet, you get a little bonus there. So take advantage of it while season 1 is still around, because season 2 is probably not going to be the same incentive structure in terms of the Amber points.
Yeah, 100%. And like just like Yagobi said, you get 1,000 for being an early adopter, meaning just signing up and connecting your wallet. You get 1,000 for your first trade. So boom, just from that alone, you link your Discord, you get a price quote, you do a few other things here, and potentially you can even refer a friend, and potentially you guys are knocking on this leaderboard very quickly. I mean, it's really easy to scale up this leaderboard if you're interested, and that could be amazing for somebody who's just, I mean, all you're doing is making some trades, right? And getting the runes that you want, for sure. So we've seen RadFi kind of really take a lot of Odin funds momentum there when Odin went down, and we saw tokens really start skyrocketing. I remember last time we talked to you, potentially said down the line you guys are going to be potentially aggregating from RadFi, but right now you guys are aggregating from the L1 side, because a lot of the tokens do come to L1. Are you guys seeing a lot of people use the Sats Terminal DEX for those RadFi tokens?
Yeah, because when these tokens get on Magic Eden and DotSwap, that's when people start using Sats Terminal to trade instead, because it's just easier. Also, when they go to the Magic Eden front end, they're using us. Regarding aggregating, like Odin Fund or RadFi directly, we've had our hesitations around this, because all of these, like, there's some form of trust assumptions there, where you need to make that deposit, and only after one deposit can you actually trade and do a withdrawal. And that experience, like on our platform, would look like you send the money, wait for one block, then do the swap, and then get the tokens back, which kind of breaks the atomicity. And then then it's like, what happens if there's big price fluctuations in between, and then the user's funds are locked? It's like, we just don't find it to be like the most ideal trade setup, where you need to like lock in your funds within an ecosystem to access the tokens there. So we've been very hesitant to we've had Odin Fund for months now, and we've chosen not to integrate that. And so far it seems like that might be our take on RadFi as well, unless we are able to figure out some zero conf thing with the team. But then there's a whole other bunch of like security issues if we try to do that. So it's a challenging one, but if we figure something out, like we for one would love to have something like this, but it's but not at the cost of like
security,
minimizing user security at all. So
I mean, that's the thing, is that you guys have figured out how to stick to the atomic swap structure, or I guess approach with what you do now, right? And adding these, even like, because what you guys are doing is commendable in my opinion. Because you see that there could be volume created on Sats Terminal with these tokens, but you don't want to risk that security, add security assumptions to your platform, basically, right? That's how you, if I was to wrap it up. So I mean, maybe a separate like platform or something, or separate place on your platform, or however you guys figure it out. Because at the end of the day, I think that these are going to become more and more popular because of the liquidity availability. So how do you, like, you guys are probably, banging your head against a desk trying to figure out how you guys can support them.
No, exactly, like them. And then, I mean, we're definitely trying to build something on Spark and with the guys as well, because obviously I think those guys are going to have a lot of mindshare and a lot of volume. Of course, with Spark, there is also a different set of trust assumptions, but given that just the whole setup of it helps us find it more secure than some of the other existing ones, which feel a little bit more clunky, and that's why we might explore that approach. We might find something that works in that ecosystem, and provide faster atomic swaps to users through that way instead. We're gonna figure this out. Like we're experimenting with different things, and then hope to find something that works soon. Like another example of this, by the way, is with RuneStacks. We have been like the RuneStacks guys are really great, and they've been working very closely with us to make sure we can get that super secure atomic experience for their users. Like in between they transitioned to something where you needed to wait one block and then the price was decided, and then we like told them like, guys, we cannot have that go through our platform, and they're very cooperative. We've worked something out, and then now it's going to go live again very soon, where we'll have like the RuneStacks trades going through Sats terminal again, but it will still remain atomic. So yeah.
Love it. I love that you guys are working with Spark. What's been your experience kind of maybe just playing there for right now? Because obviously I tried using UTXO.fun and that didn't go too well. Right? So that didn't work too well. But I'm hearing a lot of people say they're having really good experiences from the dev side of stuff. Are you kind of seeing that as well? Are you having a really good experience of kind of messing around over there and kind of building?
Yeah, I think from the dev side, they've done a very good job. Like the Privy partnership, for example, is really big. I mean, if you think about it, all the like tier 1 blockchains have struggled to get that partnership and get Privy to support them. And then we have Spark, a Bitcoin layer 2 that's not even on mainnet yet, that has like support from Privy. So kudos to them for figuring that out, because it helps developers building front ends a lot. Having this sort of web login, easy Spark wallet setup. My experience using Spark Fun as a user is the same as yours, just having a bunch of funds locked up on UTXO.fun now.
I got a lot over there just sitting in that wallet, waiting for it to open back up.
You can't do anything with it?
I can withdraw it.
Withdraw it,
yeah. But I don't want to.
We
second I withdraw it. It's gonna open back up, and I'm like, no.
I'm in the same boat, Shizzy. I'm like, I want that shit to go live, so I'm gonna leave my money there till it does, and you're gonna use it. I mean, I'm excited for it. I like the experience a lot. Like I like that you just send the money, you get credited there. It kind of feels like the early days of using Base and Arbitrum and all those other like Ethereum layer 2. So I think it's like.
Yeah. Are you kind of hearing anything from your side about potentially when they're anticipating not just relaunching UTXO, but actually just maybe some stuff going live, whether it be Q1 or maybe even Q4?
Like honestly, I haven't spoken to them in a bit, so
Gotcha.
The answer is like I don't know right now, and we've also really just been heads on Borrow, so even the Spark thing has kind of become P1 and then Borrow's P0 for our team. So yeah, if I know, I'll tell you.
Sounds great. Yeah. So what does your day-to-day look like right now? Like what you guys are just full heads down building this lending right now, right?
Yeah, that's the focus right now. Trying to get Borrow out. I'm experimenting with a few other concepts as well. Like if you could buy looped Bitcoin, so like you put in like 1 Bitcoin, but you get price exposure to like 2 or 3x that. But instead of taking typical like the traditional like long exposures, you do this with like looping with Aave, but do it in one click from like Bitcoin mainnet. So you just deposit your Bitcoin and then you get 2 Bitcoin with that, with that 1 Bitcoin. And it's good when market tends upwards, and it's better than trading futures when market tends downwards, because your liquidation price is much lower. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So just experimenting with that, things like that right now. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, any other updates that we haven't touched on that you like to give to the audience, or pretty much covered everything today?
I think we've covered everything. Right now, if people are interested in trying out the Borrow product, hit us up. We're very happy to welcome users on. Just like we delivered cheapest swaps on Bitcoin, we're now delivering the cheapest loans against your Bitcoin. So yeah, if you guys want to try it out, shoot us a message. We'll set you up.
Yeah, and I would highly suggest doing that if you're trying to get build your network or get your foot in to a group. I mean, this is experience as well. So, well, Rishabh, it's been amazing. Appreciate you. We know you're super busy, constantly deving it up. So we will talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you for having me. Have a good one. See you guys
You
next
too.
week.
See you, buddy.
Bye-bye. All right. Bye.
All right. Let's get into our final segment here, which is news from the trenches. So what's been going on, man? What's been going on kind of being there? Is there anything that you're kind of looking at? Are you being cautious right now? Like what's the mindset of a trenches trader?
Yeah, so there was a token that took off called Goat. I guess it was some sort of meta between Doge and a goat. I don't know, man. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense on Solana, but yeah. So it's. I feel like there's more like more that are popping. They're still not really sticking as much, but it's because Solana's going up, and so people are feeling like there's a little bit more liquidity availability, and so you're starting to see these old tokens get like pumped a little bit. They might be like 60 days, 100 days old. They died. They're getting repumped, stuff like that. But I would say it's still really high risky. I mean, Solana's high risky anyways, in general. But yeah, I'm just kind of, stepping back a bit, just observing and watching. But that's what's happening right now. I mean, if you go, it's probably best to go to Deck Screener and you'll see the ones that can stick. I think there was a meta yesterday of this girl from Scotland that was getting attacked, and then she had like a knife and an axe or something, and she like pulled it out, and then they like made a Braveheart token about her. Right. So, I mean, that's kind of where the Solana churches are right now. It's just like, and that GOAT token got all the way up to, I think, 15 million. And now it's at like 7.8. So it's still not really sticking right now. Like stuff is still like just pump and dump, and so you got to be very, very careful in Solana. I'll say that, it makes me really, Solana kind of makes me really, look at the Bitcoin ecosystem and kind of be thankful a bit about like how solid the Bitcoin ecosystem communities are, and it's not just like a flash in the night type of community, and Solana communities like it feels that way a lot because there's just like thousands of tokens that come through every single day. And like I saw posts from people that were in the trenches for a long time, and this one guy that he has like 20,000 followers basically said he fell into a deep, despair, and so he lost his apartment and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, dude,
Oh my God.
you can see Solana, you can see that this probably happens to a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I just saw a post from Nakib, shout out Nakib, he's over at Bitcoin Asia, but he's talking about how, like, if you're building in Bitcoin, focus on Asia right now. Asia's loving Bitcoin, and like it just like with the builder of like Scott Radfi, like he comes on our show, he talks to the people.
Yeah.
Now his platform's starting to thrive, and Bob has been on our show like consistent, like multiple times, and he has a platform over there. You don't get Elon on the show. He's covered, his face is covered. You know what I mean? It really is way more of like pure degenerate kind of energy over on Solana versus like Bitcoin. Yes, they gamble, in Bitcoin, but it's more, they hang around, they stick around, people by name in Bitcoin. Solana, it's man, it's a money drainer. But I'll say this though, the blue chip tokens, as in like the majors, that's probably the best bet across the board, is sticking to the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. Even if you hate Cardano, those base chain tokens, and then you have that middle ground. I was talking about the Hyperliquids. I think Merlin probably fits into that because I think Merlin will get like some funding soon, or they'll form one of those DATs. But there's just a lot of risk that, and our space is very loves risk. loves it big time. We're just not in risk on. When we're not in risk on, it doesn't matter. They still love risk, so.
100%. Do you feel like maybe Solana getting back to an all-time high could potentially? So this is the chart here. We've seen, it came up before to like 200 something. I think the all-time high, if you want to go all the way back, is probably way higher than this. Yeah. So the all-time high on Solana is about $300 there. Do you think potentially us kind of getting close to that, or kind of even breaking out this triangle that we've kind of been into, could kind of send that stuff in to be a little better in the sense of holders? Or do you think that it's just not a fun playground that we originally thought it could be?
I mean, when people are winning, they have fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's become a place where not many people win, and so that's why I think the fun is left. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you're in a full-blown bull market, like there was definitely stretches of 2021 that, everybody was having fun, and because everybody was winning. So I think it's more, yes, will it help? I think it will help. I think it will prop up some of these tokens, but I think there's a lot of people that have just gotten demolished. You know what I mean? And so they're, it's gonna be the whales that pump up these tokens again.
Yeah,
because they're the ones that are holding the most Solana. So
yeah, that's why I'm kind of excited for Spark. I think that's why I have I keep actually, and every time I get like a few extra, like a little bit of Bitcoin, I'll send it over to my Spark wallet. And I've been doing really good. I'm just kind of saving over there, waiting for UTXO Fund to kind of open it back up and kind of get into some of those tokens for that same reason, right? I feel like the early tokens on Spark are going to really be the runners, potentially kind of something we haven't seen before as well, because it's being backed by a lot of bigger players in the space too, right? Businessman.eth is over there. You're seeing Magic Eden build over there. Sats Terminal guys are thinking about doing some pretty cool stuff using that technology as well. So I'm really excited for Spark, to your point. And I think potentially the launch pads on Bitcoin could be fun. Even the Bitcoin L2 like Spark.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Let's kind of get this wheel spinning done here. So let me actually show my screen. I did have everybody make sure no new one came in. All right, cool. We're good. I have everything up here. So I'm gonna give us a quick shuffle, and let's get our winners. So spin.
Good luck.
Congratulations, Nighthawk, man. You deserve this. My guy,
Congrats.
I appreciate you. I'll be reaching out to you, and if I don't reach out to you tonight, definitely reach out to me. Sometimes I just forget, so I'll definitely get you your TK though. Let's spin it again here. Buenos dias, ideas. Congratulations. One of my favorite names here. We'll lock you in, and I did forget to shuffle, so I will shuffle it this time. Not that it matters or anything, but. And there's the spin. Three brand new winners. Really cool to see. These three guys have not won yet, so that is awesome. We will lock you in here, and I will lock all three of you guys in. Really appreciate you guys coming in every single day and being part of this and being a part of the TK community. Can't wait to send you guys your TK. And that's our show, guys. Really fun day today. 321 people in here. We have 105 on YouTube, 22 on Trench Kitty, 92 on X, not to mention 103 on Twitch, and Kick, Rumble, Abstract, and Spotify later. Really appreciate every single one of you guys, man. And yeah, it's our show.
Absolutely. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. A little slower, but everybody is in Asia right now, or Hong Kong, I should say. But, without you guys, we couldn't do this. And without our partners as well, we couldn't do it. If you could check them out, we greatly appreciate it. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator swap for the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap for runes or alkanes, you got to do it there, because you'll earn Amber points, and Amber points go towards a give back for early adopters there. Also, if you want to be a part of their beta test group, head over to Sats Terminal on X and message them and let them know you want to be a part of that and participate. Head over to satsterminal.com today. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer for the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to jump ordinals from Bitcoin to Ethereum, you can do so right now, as you can take a loan out against your Taproot Wizard on the Gandhi application, which is the largest borrowing and lending platform on Ethereum. Also, you can utilize their AI tool or AI product, I should say, in AI Hustle, Agent Hustle, which is a AI tool LLM that guides you through the trenches of Solana. You can ask questions like, hey, find me a safe 2 to 5x in the Solana ecosystem. It'll bring back the answer for you. Also, you can use Hustle to do conditional trading. So you can, tell Hustle to buy some fart coin when it dumps 20% and sell it when you're up 100% there. Also, don't forget they have a TGE coming up very soon. It's on block 915,000. It is the Emblem Founder Vaults. You can actually go to OpenSea right now and purchase one of these NFTs. And then once block 915,000 comes around, you can it will open up and you'll have your Bitcoin wallet with the keys in there. So make sure you check that out. And last thing is migrate.fund. If you have launched a token on Pump Fund and you need to migrate it to another launchpad, or you want to manage your own LP, head over to migrate.fund. And then for all this information, go to emblem.vision. And then Artura.finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Soon, you're going to be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin fungible tokens, as well as synthetic derivatives like Coinbase and MicroStrategy as well. And right now, you can actually earn points on their platform. That's going to be a future give back once their TGE is around. But you can earn the most points by adding liquidity to their vaults. So make sure you head over to their website, which is Artura.finance. Click on Open the app, and then you can add liquidity in their vaults, or you can just make simple trades and earn points that way. Also, you'll earn double points as they're going to be tracking. Well, Botanix is going to be tracking on their side as they are live on Botanix, the spider chain, and Botanix is doing a give back as well. So head over to Artura.finance to take advantage of all this. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet, which is supporting Bitcoin, Cardano, and now Sui. You can swap for runes directly in their application as they partner with Sats Terminal, and you can swap for Cardano tokens directly in their application as they partner with Dex Hunter. And then you can swap for Sui tokens as well, as they support Sui now, as I mentioned earlier. Also, if you have an iPhone, you can download this from the Apple App Store. If you have a Android, go to the Google Play Store and you can download it there. And then there is a little alpha section on their application at the bottom where you can find our channel and other YouTubers as well. Head over to Tokyo.io to learn more. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin strength through the power of AI. They have an AI tool as well called the Wizard AI. And 0.4 or 3 version right now is the live version, which you can do DeFi functions and research with Merlin Chain. But they also have a beta version of version 0.4, which you can do cross-chain swaps. You can swap for stuff on Solana, on BNB, etc. Also, you can get information of like top 10 wallets for a certain coin, and you just ask it similar information of any AI, but it's going to be specific with the Web3 world. If you want to help secure the chain, you can go be a part of their proof of stake. There's 3 options. There is the Bitcoin staking to earn more Bitcoin, which you earn a 16% APR. And then there is the Merlin Chain Merlin token, flexible day to day, which you earn 15% APR, but you can roll your staked earnings into a compound interest strategy there. It does take 7 days if you do withdraw from the day to day, because there's a cooldown period there. And then the bonded option is a 6-month 45% APR, and you can do the same thing. You can claim your rewards every day and roll it up in a compound interest strategy as well. But yeah, head over to merlinchain.io to check it all out there. And then lastly is our partner, Ordinal Hive, which has the fastest ordinal marketplace in all the entire market. They're an aggregator, so they're going to find you the cheapest ordinals around. Also, they will give you your Bitcoin right away as soon as you sell an item on their platform. You don't have to wait for the Bitcoin block. And also, they have pretty cool trader tools as well. Head over to ordinalhive.io today. And I think we're going to have Fonzie on tomorrow as a guest, so you can learn more about what they have. Oh, okay, so not tomorrow, maybe next. Gotcha. Pre-record. Okay, well, look out for that video then. But we appreciate you guys for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man, as always. And if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. Brand new article just dropped yesterday, September Fed rate cuts, all coins explode. All these reads are amazing, guys. They're about 3 minutes. It gets you completely caught up in the story of the week, and that's what this is. We definitely got to be worried about the Fed cutting the rate. So check out this article here, and you guys can go all the way back from week to week to week and kind of get article after article after articles. Definitely check that out. VPN, if you guys need one, I highly recommend Nord. I use it every single day. You guys can get it for $3.09. Lock it in for 2 years. Set it, forget it, be done with it. There is free ones out there, but they sucked in comparison. That is why I just chose to pay the $68 for the 2 years. Forget about it. You can also get it for 1 month if you choose to do so, but when you go back to do it again, you want to pay $11.59 because you can only use this coupon once for that email. Let's change your email and then get another one. But that's up to you. But definitely highly recommend this deal right here, 77% off. Can't beat that. And if you guys need merch for any event or just kind of hanging around at home, we got school bags, hats, jackets, and so much more. You guys can check everything out here at onchainrevolution.io. And remember, guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain revolution.